1916. For 2 years during World War I. The bells were silenced and the clock faces were not illuminated at night to avoid guiding. Attacking German Zeppelins. The bells were restored at 11 a.m. on the 11th of November 1918 to mark the end of the war. The 29th of December 1927, snow buildup on a clock face stopped the clock. Winter 1928, heavy snow stopped the clock for several hours. The 2nd of April 1934, the clock stopped from 7:16 a.m. to 1:15 p.m. when it was repaired. The 23rd of September 1936, a painter painting the inside of the clockroom placed a ladder against a shaft, driving the hands, stopping the clock from 8:47 a.m. to 10 a.m. The 1st of September 1939, although the bells continued to ring, the clock faces were not illuminated at night throughout World War II to avoid guiding bomber pilots during the Blitz. The 10th or the 11th of May 1941, the clock was damaged during a German bombing raid, either by a small bomb or by a British anti-aircraft shell. Stonework and ornamental ironwork were damaged, and the glass on the south dial was shattered. The damage was repaired at the time, but in major refurbishment from 2017 it was found that the tower had sustained greater damage than originally thought, and asbestos, lead paint and broken glass were discovered, increasing the refurbishment cost from an estimated £29 million to nearly £80 million. The 3rd to the 4th of June 1941, the clock stopped from 10:13 p.m. until 10:13 the following morning, after a workman repairing air raid damage to the clock face left a hammer too close to the mechanism. The 9th of December 1944, the clock hands stopped due to mechanical failure. The broken part, a pendulum suspension spring, was replaced within a few hours. The 25th to the 26th of January 1945, extremely cold temperatures froze the rubber bushings on the quarter bell hammers, preventing the chimes sounding from 9 p.m. on the 25th to 9 p.m. the following evening. The BBC broadcast the pips in the interval. The 28th of January 1947, the rubber bushings on the quarter bell hammers again froze before the clock sounded midnight, muting the chimes, though the problem was resolved by the morning. The 12th of August 1949, the clock slowed by 4.5 minutes after a flock of starlings perched on the minute hand. The 13th of January 1955, the clock stopped at 3:24 a.m. due to drifts of snow forming on the north and east dials. Small electric heaters were placed just inside these two dials, and this measure has helped to reduce instances of freezing in recent years. The 18th of July 1955, the rope operating the striking hammer broke, silencing the clock from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. New Year's Eve 1962, the clock slowed due to heavy snow and ice on the hands, causing the pendulum to detach from the clockwork, as it is designed to do in such circumstances, to avoid serious damage elsewhere in the mechanism, the pendulum continuing to swing freely. Thus, it chimed in the 1963 New Year 9 minutes late. Quote, the 30th of January 1965, the bells were silenced during the funeral of statesman and former Prime Minister Winston Churchill. The 9th of January 1968, snow buildup on the clock faces blocked the hands from moving, stopping the clock from 6:28 a.m. to 10:10 a.m. The 5th of August 1976, the air brake speed regulator of the chiming mechanism broke from torsional fatigue. after more than 100 years of use, causing the fully wound 4-ton weight to spin the winding drum out of the movement, causing much damage. The Great Clock was shut down for a total of 26 days over 9 months. It was reactivated on 9 May 1977. This was the longest break in operation since its construction. During this time BBC Radio 4 broadcast the pips instead. Although there were minor stoppages from 1977 to 2002. When maintenance of the clock was carried out by the old firm of clockmakers Thwaites and Reed. These were often repaired within the permitted 2-hour downtime and not recorded as stoppages. Before 1970, maintenance was carried out by the original firm of Dents. Since 2002, by parliamentary staff. March 1986 and January 1987, the problem of the rubber bushings on the quarter bell chimes freezing recurred, muffling the chimes. The 30th of April 1997, the clock stopped 24 hours before the general election, and stopped again 3 weeks later.